Well, after reading it, someone saying something about it, and then they didn't mention about movies made about it. You take and like in the prisons or the jails that has mostly black people in them and some white people of the past, and these are movies of the past of these imprisonment camps, because they weren't actual just jails, and they had a few guards there that weren't one of the slaves. Well, if you watch closely, and then you put two and two together with our reality of what police are, who they hire for police, and this is just what I believe out of what I've heard and then seen in movies. This is not based upon facts. It's just what I believe. So those movies, they would have a few people that run the prison camps, because that's what they were back then before they created jails with bars and all that to house them in, and then barely let them outside. So what they would do is, if there's not enough of them when there's all of a sudden just too many prisoners, they would hire a few of the prisoners, give them guns, and give them authority over the rest of the prisoners. And in my belief, this is what police are. See, in my belief, we're enslaved. And then they're hiring us, some of us slaves, to be police, to help enslave the slaves, to keep the slaves enslaved. So they hire, in my opinion, my belief, they're hiring slaves to keep the rest of the slaves in line. And they got guns. They can turn on their masters and make us all free. But they pick, in my belief, they pick the ones that are the psychopaths that don't know how to put two and two together. Keep the population ignorant, and they shall never rise up. They won't have the ability to put two and two together. And then in my belief, when you add all the poisons in the food and you feed them soy and poisons, it's not food. It's just, none of it's food. I've tasted the rice in jail. It don't taste like normal rice you buy in the store. The cookie, they don't taste like a normal cookie. The meat, it's all soy. It's gray. I wouldn't feed any of that stuff to my dogs or any of my pets that would eat the greens or whatever that don't eat meat. The cooked rice. It's all nasty. I go back into jail, I ain't eating. I'll be protesting. I won't be eating that food. They can feed me steak and chicken and hamburgers, but other than that, I won't eat their food. I'll protest. And I'll starve in protest. I'll be saying it to everybody in the jail cell. To everybody in here, I'm protesting against the food that they're serving us and the water that gives everybody the runnies that they give everyone in the jails. Because it's not filtered right, and the food is not real food. And I will be not eating in protest. You know, you don't mess with people like me. Try to keep us slaves. Because, I'll start something. In the jails, let's all not eat. Let's not buy anything and not eat until they give us real food. Steaks, burgers, chicken, real meat, real rice, real fruits and vegetables, real cookies, filtered water that's not filtered from the toilet water, just halfway. This is how they treat, it's inhumane. It's ungodly. You don't put people in a worse type of hell. You want them to be in hell? And they went out stealing on purpose, hurting people, murdering people, raping people. Kill them. Then they'll go straight to hell. And they can suffer that away. Or be in the in-between. Not heaven, not hell. Stuck in the in-between. As a ghost, a spirit. Never to be born again. And to live in this life. The ones stuck in the in-between and go to hell, they don't get to come into this life again. Only those who actually make it to the right place. And they get to come back. The rest are stuck. And effed. Like Chuck. But that's what I believe. The police are nothing but slaves hired to keep the slaves in line for the masters because there's not enough of them to keep us enslaved. That's why they got to take our guns. And then they'll take the cops' guns. Because they don't want them to put two and two together. Or they'll have brain chips in them. In my belief, they'll have brain chips in them that controls their mind. They can't think outside of what that, chip controls them to think, to act. They're a fleshy robot. They're under mind control with a chip, in my belief. Controlled by a computer. There's a movie about that too. They enslave everybody that they hire further, but make them really stupid, and they break them. When they get them in there, and in my belief, they break them. They do things to them to break them to where they're just gone. They no longer have any compassion, morals, love for another human being. Living human being. This is my belief. This is how it all works. We become cops to enslave or to keep the slaves enslaved. And then we take the guns from the slaves. The weapons. So the slaves can't fight back. They'll take the guns, then they'll take the shovels, then they'll take the pitchforks, they'll take everything that we could use against them. The bows, the arrows, everything. They got to start with the guns because that's the best weapon against them. In my belief. That's why they're so heartily out for the gun. So is Trump. He likes red flag laws. He's not going to give us all of our gun rights and eliminate all gun laws. Because all gun laws are unconstitutional. Shall not be infringed. Look up the definition of the phrase. Shall not be infringed. What's the definition of shall not be infringed? No law can be made to go against any gun, any bomb, any grenade, any whatever. We have just as much right to own what the government owns. So we can defend ourselves as equally. We're equal. We the people, we're all equal. But you put someone in leadership, and eventually, when you're sitting here electing people, there's going to be evil people that's going to come in and say, I know exactly what to say that will get the people to vote for me. all the right things. And then when I get in, I'm going to put in people that's just like me. Blah-ah. And then we'll tell them, don't kill us, don't go to war with us, you'll turn us into martyrs. They've already turned everybody else into martyrs, in my belief. You can't turn an evil person into a martyr that's already hurting and killing people, murdering people, having people go out to war, where the people in the other countries are forced into war because we're going over there, and so they're forced to go to war. So we're over there murdering them while they're sitting here forced to defend themselves from us who freely volunteer to go over there and murder those people through lies and deceit, in my belief. That's the way it works. Every other country out there, their people is forced into war. Snatched up, you're going to war. What do you think the stupid draft is for when they want it? To snatch up the slaves, and you're going to war, and we'll call you a hero because you fought for your country. No. You fought for a master. A slave master, in my belief. So, keep wanting leaders, and keep letting them trick you into being for war. Because it's all lies. We'll never get out of this mess as long as everybody sits here and says, we need a leader. No, we don't. We need teachers. Preachers are supposed to be teachers. And the only time we bring death upon someone is when we see them creating a victim in front of our eyes. A doubt, you have to leave them alone. You don't know for sure. You can't put them through trial. You might accidentally put an innocent person in jail or kill them, thinking that's already been going on. Assuming and presuming. Presumptions and assumptions. They're not based upon facts, evidence, reality. It's imaginary. Oh, I assume this, so you're guilty, and so we're going to kill you. Or we're going to lock you up for the rest of your life, or whatever. We don't have a justice system. It's a corporate enslavement system. That's all it is. The president is a corporate president. He's a businessman. It's not a government business. It's not a government. There is no government. So you all take care. Bye.